The flag is a psychological tool that helps us get energy in a horse when we can't give it to them in their body. That's the main thing I use it for. It gives energy to the environment when you can't, and you will, like if you guys play in round pens, your energy levels and you understanding your energy will get much better, but the flag gives it to you. I think this is why cowboys created the flag for clinics, because there's so many people that, oh, he's just my little baby, and now he won't get out of my way. Why would he get out? Oh, he's such a good boy, he's such a good boy. Ah, get out of my way, right? So, and the cowboys are just going, oh man, these people, these Eastern women, my God, give them a flag so that the horse will get out of their way before they get there, right? That's how I would use it. But it's really important not to sort of be waving it around. You use it in a very distinct manner. And you're not using it to beat the horse. You're using it to say, move those shoulders that way, right? And if he doesn't, and he keeps coming out, you put it here. You know, wave it here. But if you wave it here and point it at his shoulder, those shoulders are going to go. Move the shoulder. There. Right? And the first few times, again, same as the thoroughbred people. The first few times you reward the slightest try. So if he's coming at you and you go like this and he does that, you go, oh, good boy, good boy. Right? Because you want it to be a secret weapon. You don't really want him to know it's an extension. In this case, it's not an extension of your arm. It's, I don't understand my energy, so I'm going to use something that helps me. And if you've been using the rope, swinging the rope, and he's ignoring, see, all those things, he's like, Mom doesn't mean it, right? So the flag will really help you in that case. But anyway, quick, before we run out of time. So the flag I use, you can use it to desensitize horses. That's what most people use it for. But what you don't want to do is use the flag to make them go around, and when their feet stop using the flag. Because that's teaching the horse to shut down. You want to use it, get them to, like with us, get them to acknowledge the flag, realize it's not going to hurt them, and then take it away. That's when you desensitize. So you ask them to come out, you use the flag a little bit, they go round, and if you're trying to get them to stop their feet, like this, I'm just going to cheat and bump him in front to stop his feet. Like, don't take the flag away now. There. I took it away there because he looked at me. He looked to me to be like, is this okay? And I went, oh, look, miraculously, that frightening thing that's flying around in the arena disappeared. That's really what I use it for. It's more important to me for a horse that won't join and believe you and all of that. You can use the flag to say, oh my God, look at that frightening thing that's coming up. Oh my God, what's going on? And he looked at me and I went, oh, you looked at me and it went away. You're magical. Right? And the horse goes, oh my God, if something really scares me and I look to you, it goes away. That's what I use the flag for. That's a great use of the flag. But in just the general way of using the flag, they get scared underneath. See, Kay knows it, but he's still, because it goes from one eye to the other. So you don't want to really do this too much when you're starting with the flag. And when you bring it into them, if you're here, you bring it into them on the angle of their shoulder. So that if you can get in there, you can rub them on the shoulder with it. Rub them in the wither. But if you can get a horse that's standing still and you're flanking the flag all over the place, and he's not looking to you, that's a shutdown horse. Right? So that's the danger of back 15 years ago. It was all about just flag them until their feet stop and then they make the flag go away. But now we realize that just makes them shut down and cope up with the flag. And it makes them brace. So you've got to be very aware of when the flag disappears. Because that's what's going to teach the horse, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whatever. But it makes them move in a way that you want them to move. And it takes a little getting used to using a flag so that you do it properly. But like with him, did you say? I was pretending he wouldn't go. You can't get him to go that way? You can't get him to go right. Okay. So I'm going to make Kay do it. So I'm pretending I'm asking him to go that way, right? And he does this. He's like, I know what you're going to do with that flag, Mum, right? But this is what he does, right? He comes in on it, right? So do this. And then he'll be like, whoa, right? And so then you go, can you go this way? And he's going to go, no, Mom, I don't take out the garbage. I'm going to come forward. And then you go like this, and then you go like this. And then he goes that way, and you go, flag's disappeared. Oh, good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy going right. He's such a good boy, right? And then I actually, in a case like that, to reward him, instead of disengaging the hind end, I would draw him to me and go, oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. Right? So it gives you, the flag in that case gives you a tool that you didn't have before that's going to surprise him.
So once he goes, just grab it.
Yeah. Yeah. Kay didn't know what the hell I was just doing. So, but I bet you, with your or you do reining or cutting or whatever, if you don't have the horse's respect and energy and softness in what you're doing, the relationship's never going to be there. And the confidence comes from that. It comes from the horse. Really, we need them to be confident in us so we can be confident in them. You know, and I know I didn't talk that much about confidence and stuff, but does anybody have, bigger, right? There, good. And, you can argue whether they go behind the front foot. Keep trying, Kay. Or you can let them come forward a little bit and go in front of the front foot. No, this way. This way. Front. Good boy. Right? But it's all stuff to just play with. It's not like, I don't expect you guys to remember all my babblings today. But if I can give you a few exercises to play with, and once the horse is willing and soft and wanting to do it, I want him to be engaging himself by stepping up and under with that inside hind. He's not that great at it, but right now it's there. No, you don't need to go faster, Kate. Walk. Right, stepping up and under with the hind. There. That's an engagement. When you want to engage your horse. This is a disengagement. Watch the hind come all the way. See how the hips go? That's a disengagement. So when you're doing a one-rein stop, you don't want to just keep doing a huge circle and trying to get them to step under. Because a lot of times you're just engaging, which is great. It's good to engage your horse because that's you want them to be using their hind end to come through and when you're riding and everything. But the one-rein stop is a disengagement of the hind end, not an engagement. And I know right now you're all probably like, yeah, whatever. But to me, I had this huge Deb will understand, this huge light bulb moment. I'm like, oh, this, and it's because I'm always like, but you're always just getting the hind end, right? Not when you're engaging. When you want to engage the horse, and in dressage, that's everything. It's probably everything in reining and everything too, right? So stepping up and under, using their hind end to get a collection, which he doesn't really have. That's the goal, is to get that in a forward motion. Step up and under with that leg kick. Good, up and under, right? So he can push himself off and go forward. That's into engagement. Pushing himself off with that hind end. And when things go pear-shaped, I need to stop that hind end quick and say, stop! Right? So that's disengagement. That's a one-rein stop. And I want to really emphasize, because I've seen this a lot too, people learn the one-rein stop and then they stop every single time with a one-rein stop. That's not the purpose. It's an emergency brake. And if you put your foot on the emergency brake in your car, every single time you stop, you're going to wear it out. You know? And it's actually not great for their stifles to do one-rein stops all the time. You know? So when you start showing them that it feels better, and especially if you can get their head down. This is a great exercise to start with thoroughbreds, you know, because they're used to being on protection. We're on protection, and we're like a giraffe, and we can see everything that's going on, right? So if you can be in their presence and ask them to put their head down just a tiny bit and give to that pressure, even if their head's up here, when you put the pressure on, if they think about it, if they just do that, give to it. And then just hang out with them, maybe go for a little walk, and then come back to it. That's how I would approach it, you know. And take everything I say with a grain of salt, because sometimes I'll get in a situation, like I'd come see your horse and I'd be like, oh no, that's not what I want you to do. But like, as a broad steps, it's usually better to just go back to baby steps. And once they learn it, the baby steps become bigger and bigger. So once they learn to feel good and to relax and be with you, you can start training them like big steps. Whereas if you train them in a brace or in a fearful state, you have to do another tiny step and another tiny step, because they have to learn how to re-brace to do it. But once they get soft, they're looking for the softness and they're looking to do it to feel good. So then it's like, oh, I'll ask you for a leg yield and I'll give you 20. And then you have to be like, no, that's it, there's an outside leg there, you know. But that's the danger of this stuff, is they'll give you everything and then you have to start saying, no, that's too much. Anyway, so quickly, what time is it? Okay. It's 1. Quickly, I just want to show you I want to do a little bit with the flag, and I just want to show you the exercise I keep not doing because I keep talking. And then, you know, I'm going to do a Q&A. We'll have some coffee or something. If people want to stay and ask personal questions about their own horse and what I would do, I'd be more than happy to answer those questions too. And anything else. I mean, I'd love to, if you have a question like that I can sort of demonstrate on Kay, let's do that. But 2 hours for him as a geriatric old man is a bit much. All right, so we're going to send him out on a circle. He's much better with that shoulder in this direction because it's not his bad shoulder. All right, we're going around as if I'm riding now. I'm leading him with the rein. I'm going to, if I'm sitting up there, I'll come all the way around so that you guys can see what I'm doing. But if I'm sitting up there, I'm going to pick up my rein and get his hind end to step over. And my rein is now going that way, so I'm going to ask him to, thank you. See that? That's the shoulder stepping out of my way. He made a concerted effort to move that shoulder out of my way. Good boy. But now see how he's encroaching on me a little bit? Proximity is pressure. So I'm going to push him out. That was just my energy. All right? But that energy can give you a little bit of a leg yield. There. See? Which is stuff you can do on the ground too. Right, sorry, I didn't do the exercise right. But all this stuff you can do on the ground. Not perfect. None of us are perfect. I mean, maybe Nuno was perfect and Buck's pretty perfect because they've done a billion horses. But, you know, I'm like you guys. No, I'm never going to be perfect. But if you can get the idea across that's what I want, then when you get in the saddle and you put a bit of pressure there, it means go sideways. And he goes, oh, I get that. So you're not like having to spur him and having to whip him to say, go sideways. He's like, oh, that's like that thing we did on the ground. Right. Disengage the hind end. Bring the front end across. Bring the front end across. Good boy. Get on the hind end and give me a turn around the haunches. Good boy. Right? That's off my energy. Yes. And then I always stop. And you'll see, if you watch you stop. You stop and say, okay, you acknowledge me, and now I'm going to keep coming. And then they can get out of your space. And again, it's different with every horse, but that's what I would say. It's always about giving the horse the chance to make the right decision before you really get after him for it. Go at the horse. They're like, you're in my way. And then the horse is like, I'm in your way, you know. And if you're going like, however you do it with the rope or whatever, I use, if they don't respect my bubble, I use this. This is my bubble. It's like a mare that goes, this is my bubble. Don't come, yeah, see? That's, he's like, I see your bubble, Mom, I see it, I don't need it, you don't need to tell me about your bubble. But this is a great exercise for that. And too many people watch, if you do this and you're like, He's like, where am I going? Because I'm going at him. I'm going, get out of my bubble. Get out of my... It's like, I'm getting out of your bubble. What are you doing? Right? That's wrong. That's you saying, I'm coming in your space and I'm meeting you for it. This is saying, this is my bubble, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to stay out of my bubble. You can't direct your anger at the horse and go at them and say, get out of my bubble. That's not fair.